He saved a drowning alien child and its guardian beast. The galaxy was never the same. The rain came down hard over the ocean world of Karin Tide, turning the already wild sea into something angry and violent. Waves rose like moving walls, crashing against black rocks with a force that shook the ground. Most species avoided this planet. The water pressure was extreme, the currents unpredictable, and the native life dangerous. Ethan Cole stood at the edge of the temporary mining platform, his boots soaked, his breath tight in his chest. He was a human engineer hired to keep the water drilling rigs running. He was not a soldier. He was not a hero. He was just someone who fixed broken machines. The warning siren screamed again. "Evacuate immediately," the automated system announced in a calm, uncaring voice. Tidal surge exceeding safe limits. All personnel must withdraw. Ethan leaned over the railing, rain stinging his eyes as he scanned the churning water below. For a moment he saw nothing but foam and darkness. Then lightning flashed, and in that brief white light he saw it. Something small was trapped between two broken pieces of floating wreckage, being dragged under again and again by the current. A child. Alien, yes, but unmistakably a child. Ethan's heart slammed against his ribs. Someone else shouted behind him. "Cole, what are you doing? Get back. That water will kill you." At first, Ethan thought it was part of the wreckage. Then it moved. A huge creature, long and armored with glowing eyes beneath the surface. Its body twisted unnaturally, caught in cables and twisted metal. Dark fluid leaked into the sea around it. A guardian beast. Ethan knew the name even before his mind caught up. Every spacer did. Guardian beasts were living legends. Ancient protectors bonded to rare species. They were known for destroying ships that came too close. No one approached them and lived, and this one was wounded. The child cried out again as a wave pulled it under. Ethan swore softly. He did not think. He did not calculate survival odds. He only moved. He tore off his harness, ignored the shouting behind him, and climbed over the railing. The fall into the water was like hitting stone. The cold punched the air from his lungs. The pressure crushed his chest as he sank deeper than he expected. For a terrifying second, his body refused to move. Then instinct took over. He kicked hard, fighting the pull of the current, forcing his burning lungs to hold. He broke the surface just long enough to gasp before another wave slammed into him. The child was closer now. Ethan swam with everything he had, muscles screaming as he reached out and grabbed the wreckage with one hand. With the other, he pulled the child toward him. The alien child was lighter than he expected. Its skin was smooth and pale, its eyes wide with terror. It clung to Ethan's arm with surprising strength. "It's okay," Ethan said, not knowing if the child could understand. "I've got you." Every story Ethan had ever heard screamed at him to let go and flee. He did not. Instead, he wrapped the child against his chest and looked down into the water. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said, his voice shaking. Words lost to the storm but meant all the same. The beast surged upward suddenly. Ethan barely had time to brace before something immense brushed past his legs. The water exploded around them. He lost his grip on the wreckage and felt himself dragged under again. Salt burned his throat. Strong, scaled coils wrapped around his waist, not crushing, not attacking, but holding him steady against the current. The guardian beast had him. Ethan expected pain. It never came. Instead, the creature shifted, placing its own massive body between Ethan and the jagged rocks. Its wounded side scraped against metal, and Ethan felt the tremor of pain that went through it. The beast was protecting them. Ethan realized the cables binding it were cutting deeper with every movement. The creature could not free itself without risking the child. "I can help," Ethan whispered, though he did not know why he said it. He kicked toward the tangled cables, holding onto the beast's armored hide as waves tried to tear him away. His fingers fumbled for the emergency cutter clipped to his belt. His vision blurred at the edges, lungs screaming. One cut, then another. The cables snapped free, floating away into the dark water. The guardian beast let out a low sound, not a roar but something close to relief. The current pulled them hard, but now they were free. Ethan felt himself weakening. His arms shook. The weight of the child, the cold, the exhaustion, it was too much. The beast seemed to sense it. With a powerful movement, it pushed upward, breaking the surface in a surge of water and foam. Ethan barely kept his grip as they rose near the platform's edge. Hands reached down. Voices shouted. Someone grabbed Ethan's arm and hauled him over the side. Others pulled the child free, wrapping it in thermal blankets. Ethan collapsed onto the metal floor, coughing violently as water poured from his lungs. For a moment, everything went quiet. Then alarms blared again, different this time. The guardian beast surfaced beside the platform, its massive form looming, eyes glowing softly as it watched the child being carried away. Weapons were raised. "Hold fire," someone yelled. The beast did not attack. It did not flee. It stayed. Slowly, painfully, it rested its wounded body against the platform's supports, shielding itself from the worst of the waves. Its gaze never left Ethan. Ethan pushed himself up on trembling arms. His vision swam, but he met the creature's eyes. Neither moved. Something passed between them, not words, not sound, but understanding. Rescue ships arrived minutes later, floodlights cutting through the storm. Medical teams rushed forward, stunned into silence by the sight before them. A human engineer, half drowned and shaking, sitting at the edge of a platform. A rescued alien child alive in a medic's arms. And beside them, a guardian beast that had chosen not to kill, but to trust. That moment would be recorded, replayed, and argued over across the galaxy for generations. But right then, all Ethan knew was that he was alive. And that the galaxy had just changed, whether it knew it yet or not. The storm had passed, but the tension did not. Ethan Cole lay on a medical bed inside the rescue ship, staring at the smooth white ceiling. Machines hummed softly around him. His chest felt tight, and every breath reminded him how close he had come to dying. His arms were bandaged, his skin pale from cold and shock. He tried to sit up. A firm but gentle hand pressed him back down. "Do not move," a medic said. The medic was not human. Its skin was gray-blue, its eyes wide and careful. "Your lungs are stressed. You are fortunate to be alive." He did not need to understand the languages to know what they meant. Something had gone very wrong. The doors slid open. 3 armed security officers entered, followed by a tall figure wearing long dark robes marked with glowing symbols. The figure moved slowly, carefully, as if every step carried weight. "Ethan Cole," the robed figure said in clear, accented common. "You will answer our questions. You were aware that guardian beasts are classified as extreme threats. You cut its restraints." Time blurred under medication and exhaustion. Then the air changed. Ethan felt it before he heard it. A deep vibration passed through the ship, not violent but powerful. The lights flickered once. Shouts echoed down the corridor. "What is happening?" Ethan asked weakly. The medic looked at the scanner, then toward the door, fear flashing across its face. "The guardian beast has approached the ship." Behind the child, filling the corridor, a massive shadow waited. The guardian beast could not fit inside. Only its head and upper body were visible through the open doorway. Its glowing eyes scanned the room, sharp and aware. Every medic froze. Ethan pushed himself upright, ignoring the sharp pain in his chest. The child approached his bed. It lifted one small hand and placed it gently against Ethan's arm. A warmth spread from the point of contact, not physical but something deeper. Ethan's breathing eased. The pain faded slightly. The room went completely silent. The child spoke, not aloud but inside every mind present. "This one saved us. The bond is made." The robed figure swallowed hard and bowed deeply. Across the galaxy, alarms began to ring. News spread faster than any ship could travel. A human had saved a Thalker child. A guardian beast had allowed itself to be touched. Worse, or perhaps more dangerous, the Thalker had acknowledged a life debt. On distant worlds, councils gathered. Military leaders argued. Scholars panicked. "This changes everything," one voice said. "Humans are unpredictable," another warned. if they can earn the loyalty of guardian beasts. When medics approached Ethan too roughly, the beast's eyes brightened and everyone quickly adjusted their behavior. Ethan did not feel afraid. He felt responsible. Later, in a quiet observation chamber overlooking the ocean, Ethan stood beside the transparent wall. The sea was calmer now, dark and endless. The child stood next to him, small hand resting against the glass. "My people feared the galaxy," the child said softly, this time aloud in broken common. "They taught us distance, silence. Now the debt must be honored." Ethan Cole was in a quiet medical garden aboard the Thalker diplomatic vessel when the guardian beast lifted its head. The creature had been resting, its massive body curled like a living wall behind Ethan and the child. Its eyes brightened, pupils narrowing. The child felt it too. "They are coming," the child said softly. Ethan looked up. "Who is coming?" "Those who fear debt," the child replied. "Those who believe power should only answer to force." Across the vessel, calm tones replaced gentle music. "All visitors remain where they are," an announcement said. "This is not an evacuation." And the galaxy wanted answers it was willing to take by force. The first explosions lit the distant darkness as defense satellites were destroyed, not attacked, directly disabled. Precision strikes meant to open a path, not start a war. "They are testing," Ethan said quietly. The child nodded. "They want to see how we respond." Their ships were powerful, their beasts unmatched in open combat, but they had gathered today for ceremony, not war. Civilians filled the inner habitats, children, elders. "They will strike again," one elder said. "Harder. You need time. Not war fleets alone, but medical carriers, transport vessels, engineering barges, and evacuation cruisers." They arrived in loose formation, broadcasting open channels. "This is the Terran Coalition," a calm human voice echoed through the chamber. "We are responding to a civilian threat. We request coordination for evacuation and defense." Then the guardian beast moved. It rose, towering, and placed itself between Ethan and the viewing window, eyes fixed on the incoming threat. A low, powerful sound filled the room, not anger but approval. The child spoke. "The bond trusted may stand with us." Defense drones deployed not to attack but to intercept debris and disabled weapons platforms. Medical ships docked even as the first hostile volleys passed nearby. Ethan watched from a command balcony as humans worked with quiet focus. No cheers, no speeches, just action. "They are not advancing," one Thalker officer said, confused. "They are protecting." They positioned themselves, bodies absorbing energy, deflecting fire. Human defense systems synchronized instantly, reinforcing weak points. A hostile cruiser tried to flank the formation. Human interceptors blocked its path, disabling engines with precision shots. The ship drifted, powerless but intact. "They could destroy us," one attacker broadcast in disbelief. "Why are they holding back?" Finally, a transmission went out on all channels. "We surrender," the hostile commander said. "Cease engagement." Human ships maintained position, weapons powered down but ready. The attackers were escorted away, not as prisoners to be punished, but as threats neutralized. When it was over, the system was quiet again. No cities burned. No worlds shattered. The galaxy watched in stunned disbelief. In councils and data halls across known space, analysts replayed the recordings again and again. Humans had intervened in a sacred system. They had stood beside ancient monsters, they had won, and they had shown mercy. Back aboard the Thalker vessel, Ethan sat with the child once more, the guardian beast resting nearby. His body ached, his mind exhausted. "You could have destroyed them," Ethan said. "Yes," the child replied. "But then the debt would twist into fear. Now the galaxy must learn a new truth." And that made them something far more difficult to defeat. The galaxy did not change all at once. It shifted slowly, like a great tide pulled by a new moon. In the days after the failed attack, messages spread through every known network. Official reports were careful and cold, but the recordings told a stronger story. They showed guardian beasts moving beside human ships. They showed civilians protected instead of used as shields. They showed enemies defeated without being erased. Fear followed first, then curiosity, then respect. Ethan Cole did not see most of it. When the human fleet departed, he asked to leave with them. He did not want power, titles, or a place in history. He only wanted to go home. The Thalkir elders did not stop him. They gathered in a quiet chamber filled with soft light and living stone. The child stood at Ethan's side, the guardian beast resting behind them like a mountain that breathed. "You may go," the eldest said, "but the bond does not fade with distance. That is why the reward matters." When Ethan returned to human space, he expected questions. He expected confinement, interviews, endless screens, and official faces. He was wrong. He was sent home. No parade, no medals. Just a quiet shuttle ride back to Earth, back to rain and concrete and familiar gravity. His contract was quietly ended. His name was quietly flagged, but the galaxy was not quiet. Human exploration ships began to notice something strange. On dangerous routes, massive shadows moved at the edge of sensors. Pirate attacks stopped before they began. Unknown threats withdrew without explanation. And always, somewhere nearby, a guardian beast watched, not owned, not commanded, allied. The Thalkir made their declaration a month later. It was brief. It was simple. It was broadcast everywhere. Humans are bondkin. Any who threaten those under their protection threaten us. But you could not predict loyalty. Other species tried to understand it. Some failed. Some learned. Those who approached humans with force found doors closed. Those who came with respect found something unexpected: help. Human engineers rebuilt stations on neutral worlds. Doctors crossed borders without asking who was right. Human ships arrived after disasters, not to claim territory but to pull survivors from the wreckage. Guardian beasts were seen beside them, silent and immense. The phrase spread in quiet places first, then louder. "Do not harm those humans protect." Ethan watched all of this from a small coastal city, far from spaceports. He took a job fixing wave turbines. The ocean reminded him of Karen Tide, but here the water was gentle. Sometimes at night he felt a presence beyond the horizon, not watching him but standing with him. He did not speak of it. Years passed. The galaxy adapted. Conflicts still happened. Fear did not vanish, but something had changed in the balance. Power was no longer measured only in ships and weapons. It was measured in who would stand beside you when everything went wrong. When Ethan grew older, a young engineer once asked him if the stories were true. "Did you really face a guardian beast and live?" the young man asked, eyes bright. Ethan smiled faintly. "I didn't face it. I helped its child." Far away, on a world still untouched by most maps, the child, no longer so small, stood beside a gathering of guardian beasts. They watched the stars where humans traveled freely now. "The galaxy fears them," one elder beast said. "No," the child replied softly. "The galaxy trusts them, and fear follows trust more than force ever did." They remembered the cold water, the pain, the human hands that did not let go, and so did the galaxy. Humanity did not rule the stars. They did not need to. They became something rarer. The species you could rely on when everything else failed. And that made all the difference.